Hi, I'm Holly Andrews, Integrative Nutrition Coach and Executive Wellness Coach. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the kitchen. Today, I want to share with you about Nourish Bowls, also sometimes called Buddha Bowls, but these are fairly new to me. I know they've been around for a lot longer, but I only learned about them just about 4 months ago when we were dealing with my son's medical needs and dietary needs. And so his nutritionist recommended that we try these Nourish Bowls, and I had to go and look them up, and I must say that they have become a favorite. They are so versatile. You can customize them to any dietary preference. And for me, the best part is that I love to make these Nourish Bowls using leftovers. So what makes Nourish Bowls so amazing? Well, first off, if you follow the structure of how to build a Nourish Bowl, you are going to get a completely balanced meal with your complex carbs and whole grains, your proteins, your veggies, your healthy fats, and some fun extras. And it makes this beautiful, complete meal that is going to keep you satisfied and satiated throughout your day. Plus, they're customizable, as I mentioned. You can make any number of combinations with these Buddha Bowls or Nourish Bowls. You can change them to your dietary preference. So I make sure mine are gluten-free for my family because of my daughter and her celiac. I also tend to keep them dairy-free just for my son and his dietary issues. But, you can make them vegan or vegetarian or whatever you want. You can make them your own. And as I mentioned, they are perfect for leftovers. And in fact, today with the Buddha Bowl that I build is going to be mostly leftovers with a couple of fresh veggies thrown in. And I'm going to whip up a quick dressing to go on top of it. But everything else I have leftover in the fridge, and it is so simple to prepare because of those leftovers, and it uses up what you've already got. And finally, it is so simple. It is quick and easy to prepare, especially if you are using those leftovers. If you're making them from scratch, then it takes a little bit more intention, especially if you need to cook a whole grain first or cook your protein first. Either way, you can make all of the ingredients and create your Nourish Bowls throughout the week and munch on them that way. That's a really great meal prep tip, especially for take to work for lunch or to send your kids to school. Great options. So the nutritional benefits of these Nourish or Buddha Bowls, right? Because we're using whole grains, they're gonna be high in fiber, and that fiber aids in digestion and detoxification and all of those things that our gastrointestinal tract needs to keep our systems going. Because of the vegetables, both cooked and fresh vegetables, you're going to get a wide variety of vitamins and minerals and all of those things that our body needs to function properly. Probably you're gonna get a lot of vitamin A, vitamin C. Depending on the extras that you add in, you might be adding in things for iron. If you're iron deficient, this will be a great way to add some toppings in, like hemp hearts or some other nuts and seeds to get that source of iron in there. And then finally, protein. You know that people are talking about protein, get enough protein. Well, this is a great way to make sure that you are getting enough protein. So today, for instance, I'm going to be using some leftover grilled chicken and quinoa and chickpeas. Those all have protein in them, and so this is going to be a very protein-rich Nourish Bowl. So you can add in your own sources of protein, whether chicken, beef, eggs would be another great one, soy, tempeh, right? Anything like that. You can max out your protein with these Nourish Bowls. So let's go over the structure of a Nourish Bowl, and then I will show you how I'm going to build mine for my dinner tonight. But essentially, there's a few basic pieces that you need to make the Nourish Bowl to give you that complete balanced meal. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to pick your base. And this is going to look like a whole grain. So tonight I'm using quinoa, but you could use brown rice, you could use farro, you could use lentils, you could use cauliflower rice, you could even use mixed greens as a base if you wanted to. It would look more like a salad at that point, but still you need to choose your base and get those complex carbs. Next, you're gonna pick a protein. So as I mentioned, I have some leftover grilled chicken that I am going to be using tonight, but you could use tempeh, eggs, beans, lentils, anything like that that's going to give you protein. So Customize it based on your dietary preference. Next, we're gonna add in some cooked vegetables. So I happen to have some leftover roasted purple potatoes that I'm gonna use. I'm going to cut them up into smaller pieces than they are right now. And I'm not even gonna bother warming them up. This is just gonna be a cold Buddha bowl for me tonight. But you could obviously heat up roasted vegetables, fresh roast them if you want to, or if you're using your leftovers, you could heat them up. Totally your preference, but you wanna get some of those cooked vegetables in there. So that could be broccoli, sweet potatoes, a sauteed kale. I'm actually gonna be using some kale tonight as well that I have left over from my lemony kale salad. So use kale. I'm gonna be doing the purple potatoes and kale as my cooked vegetables. Then you want to add in some fresh vegetables. So pick your poison here. I'm gonna be using cucumbers and cherry tomatoes that I pulled out of my garden because they need to get eaten. So kind of like clean out your fridge, use up those vegetables that you might have in there that need to get used up. But pick one or two fresh vegetables to go into your bowl. Then you want to make sure you're getting healthy fats. So this could look like avocado slices or a couple tablespoons of hummus, or drizzle some olive oil over your bowl. Nuts, seeds, olives, any of those things that are going to give you some healthy fats. So tonight I'm going to be using, I have pumpkin seeds, and I'm also going to be tossing in just a few of the roasted chickpeas that I shared on the channel before, and I'm going to toss those in as my healthy fats for this bowl. Next to last, you want to top it with a dressing. And if you go to the link in the description, I have several dressing recipes that you can use to top off your Nourish Bowls. They're super quick and easy to make, nothing complicated. So tonight I'm going to be whipping up a quick lemon tahini dressing to drizzle on top of the bowl. And then finally, I'm going to finish it off with some fun toppings. You could do things like cranberries, dried cranberries, fresh herbs, green onions, sesame seeds, anything like that as a fun little topping to finish off the bowl. So again, you need to pick your base, pick your protein, pick a cooked vegetable, pick fresh vegetables, hit it with some healthy fats, top it with the dressing, and then throw in a little fun extra toppings at the very, very end. And that is the basics of your Nourish Bowl. So I'm going to show you now how I'm putting mine together tonight. All right, so we're going to build our base here. And I have some of my leftover quinoa, and I'm just going to grab a half a cup of my quinoa and add it to one side of my bowl. I wasn't sure how big of a bowl I would need, but it doesn't really matter, does it? As long as it's big enough. Got the quinoa, and I mentioned I'm going to grab some of my leftover lemony kale salad. This does have walnuts and some hemp hearts, a little bit of feta. It's just so refreshing and so good. Okay, so that's our base. So in terms of veggies, I am going to throw in a little bit of sauerkraut. I know that might sound really, really weird, but I want to get some of that fermented veggies in here for the purpose of probiotics and my gut health. So it doesn't take much, just a little bit goes a long way. And then for my other cooked veggies, I'm gonna be adding in, like I said, some of these leftover purple potatoes from dinner the other night. And I love whenever I can get purple into my dishes because it is so good for brain health. That's why everybody talks about blueberries and how good they are for your brain. It's because of the vitamins, the minerals, and the nutrients in the purple vegetables and fruits that are really, really good for brain health. All right, so I've got that. We're going to wind up with a really, really colorful dish here. Next, I'm going to add some of my fresh veggies in, and I've got some of my cherry tomatoes. These are pretty tiny. If they were bigger, I would probably cut them in half. But for now, I'm just going to toss them in there. And then I have a cucumber that I need to use up. So this cucumber, let's see, came from our local farm. Shout out to Honey Tree. My cucumber plants in my garden, unfortunately, died. So I don't have any in my garden. So I get mine from the local farm. All right. And that should be enough. So I'm just going to plop that over there. All right. I've got my base. I've got my grains. I've got my kale. I have my cooked veggies between the sauerkraut and the potatoes. I have my fresh veggies between the kale, the tomatoes, and the cucumbers. So I think we are good there. So next up, I'm going to get out my chicken breast that I have left over. And I'm just going to slice that up quickly and plop that down the middle. Now I'm going to make the dressing here really quickly and show you how to do that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and make our dressing. And of course, you know me, I love to use mason jars for dressing. I'm going to juice half a lemon, which the recipe for one serving, I'm making one serving right now, only called for a teaspoon, but it does also say to thin the dressing with water. So I'm just going to use the lemon juice and we'll see how much I actually need to thin it. Then I'm going to add a tablespoon of my tahini in here. Next up, I'm going to add in a teaspoon of olive oil, and then I'm going to add in a little bit of garlic, just a little bit, although again, you know me, I love garlic, so no such thing as too much. And then I'm going to grab some salt and pepper, and I'm just going to do this to taste. So pinch, smaller pinch of the pepper, and then we will see how much water we actually need once we shake it up. Probably, yes, I do need some water here. It is rather thick, so we'll start with 1 tablespoon and go from there. You can always add more, but subtracting is pretty hard. All right, I want to make sure that this is thin enough to coat everything. So I'm going to add that sound with that right. All right, that looks really good. So it is fairly thin, but I'm just going to top that right onto the bowl. And now we're going to add some fun toppings, or what I like to think of as fun toppings. So I told you I was going to toss in a few of my roasted chickpeas, and I'm going to do that. So I've got some roasted chickpeas there, and then I am going to add in some pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds are great. Make sure that you get them raw and with no added oils. You do not need to be adding, I don't know why companies love to put oils on things where they don't belong, but pumpkin seeds are a great source of the omega-3 fatty acids. They are also rich in iron. And then I'm going to throw in a little bit of these organic sunflower seeds. I got all of these organic seeds off of Amazon for like $2 or $3, and they will last a really long time. Sunflower seeds are great because, again, they have the omega fatty acid, and the sunflower seeds are also high in copper. So that is my bowl. I am ready to stir this up and have dinner. All right, so this is our bowl, our Nourish Bowl, and this is going to be my dinner tonight. Again, you can totally make this your own. Just kind of follow the structure of base, protein, cooked veggies, fresh veggies, healthy fats, fun toppings, and a dressing, and you can put anything that you want together. Check the link in the description below. I have a whole breakdown of all the steps and the structure of building your own bowl. I have the dressing recipes, and I have some suggested options for creating your own Nourish Bowls, including some vegan options, vegetarian options, and then, some with chicken, etc. So I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you create your own. Let me know in the comments if you create your own and how you create it, because I love creativity in the kitchen. And until next time, I believe that you can heal your stress from the inside out. Thanks for joining.